Hello, hello. Good morning, everyone. So, I don't know if you guys got the email, but the email from Naeem does say that they ask that you have your cameras on. I personally don't mind. There are trainers that will actually remove you. So just in case you did not get the email, I'm making sure that you do know. Hold on. One sec. If you would like to turn the camera on so I can see you, go for it. And if you don't, I understand that you want to train privately, doing your own thing. Having said that, the reason with this is happening is because people were saying, the trainer, needs to see, and trainers were getting a little agitated. I'm gonna trust you, okay, that your form is good in general. I do, and what you can do is just in the middle, turn your camera on, have all of you guys in front of me. So, boker tov, boker tov. Shalom, shalom. So, yeah, so I'm going to say that again. If you didn't receive the email, Naeem is requesting that you guys turn on your cameras, and I'm fine if you don't. I just need you to be spot on with your form. That's the whole thing. All right, we're going to get started. Let me turn some lights on so you can see me better. And you can go ahead and lie down on your back to begin with. Lie down on your back, and I think that's better. I think you can see me better now. Okay. So there are going to be trainers that will, I'm just telling you because there was a whole big thing about this yesterday. There are going to be trainers that will remove you if you don't turn the camera on. Boker tov. Boker tov, Iris. So I just want you to know that, for the future reference. All right. Beautiful. Okay. So we are here on a Tuesday morning. Does anybody want to chat and tell me that maybe there's a pregnancy going on? You can tell me privately something that I need to know before we train, or are we just ready to rock and roll? I'm taking another second here. If we are ready to rock and roll, I know some of you are already ready and on your back. Just kind of a heads up. יש לך כזה? משקולות? Okay. So, אני אתייחס לגמרי. So, I have these guys because I have a horrible wrist, and I just have to work with them all the time. If you have weights, you can use weights. If you don't have any issue with your hand, amazing. Then you don't need anything. And we're gonna get going. So we start on our back, and we're just gonna take a moment with segmental rotation. So we slowly just let our knees fall to the right, And then maybe the head can fall over to, the knees fall over to the left and then the head to the right. It doesn't matter what side you begin with. And this is actually an exercise that if you do have back issues, physical therapists might even tell you to do this before you get out of bed in the morning. So this is purposely how I want you to start today's workout. Also kind of checking out how you woke up this morning. Like, are you solid? Are you good? Or maybe do you feel like you need to work out some kinks? Or maybe you're finding that there are some points of tension that you really need to be nice to during the workout. So as we just return to lying down on your back in a neutral position, open up your feet and really root them down into the floor. Open up the toes and root them down. And see if you're feeling solid today. If you're feeling good today, that's also your body telling you, today we're gonna push, right? So if you're feeling points of tension or if you're feeling good, I want you to notice it all. And then from here, we're gonna inhale and expand the rib cage. And then exhale, imprint in towards the floor, keeping your knees super, super parallel to each other. So there's slight activation in the inner thigh. And then inhale and exhale. So every time I exhale, I'm really activating my abs from the rib cage and from my tailbone. I'm kind of scooping up. And then one more time. And exhale. And then just keep those abs tight. Keep the back pressed to the floor and lift your heels. So it's like I just put stilettos on. Keeping your back pressed to the floor, right knee up. Excuse me, I have to cough again. It's because I'm drinking ice water, so which I don't normally drink. So we're going to swim. It's not anything else. Okay. So we're switching. But the thing is, technology isn't so advanced that I can't get you sick from the computer. But I'm not sick. So we're just switching and switching, keeping your back super close to the floor. So this movement isn't affecting my back because my abs are so tight. Now, I'm already seeing some of you are moving a little bit more from the knee. And I want you moving a little bit more from the hip joint and actually stop moving the knee, right? Keep the knee steady. And then one more time, and we're just gonna freeze. One leg up, one leg down, continuously pressing your back to the floor, placing the hands at the base of the skull, and then exhale, lift up, looking at the navel. Let's stay just as we are, keeping the neck neutral, and we switch, again, moving just from the hip joints. So it's not this, it's not this. It's reaching, and that's where the abdominal work comes in. And that's what's gonna get you nice and warm. And then we pause again, and we're gonna turn the opposite shoulder to knee. And then switch, switch, switch. Let's go for another 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The leg that's on top, we're going to pull towards us and really get into a nice hip opener here. So we're going to straighten the right leg and we're going to open up the hip flexors. That means that I want you to really press your right leg onto the floor and really hug the right knee, the left knee towards your shoulder. And then from here, we're going to switch, pressing your left leg on the floor and then opening up the right knee towards the shoulder. I'm so sore from my workouts the last 2 days that this feels like a wake-up call. And then slowly from here, we're going to flip over onto all fours. Now, because some of you do have wrist issues, okay, it's absolutely fine that you go onto your forearms, or if it's such a big deal, okay, and like you do want to get your full workout in, so this is what I do sometimes. I just go on my fingers. It's not recommended. It's not something that I want you to do on a regular basis, okay, but you know, if you want to get your workout in, and you want to do it fully, then sometimes putting your fingers down is the way to go. So hands directly under the shoulders, We're going in for the drawing in maneuver, which is the first thing we're doing. It's kind of like the imprint we just did on the back. You're pulling the navel in towards your spine, closing the rib cage, pulling your shoulders back, and then we're going to flip our feet over and then hover with the knees just a little bit without releasing the abs, without releasing the neutral spine. You're just hovering. From here, you're going to sit way back on your heels, but your knees aren't going to touch the floor. And then exhale, straighten your knees forward. Inhale and exhale. If this is too much, okay, for the wrist, you can go onto your forearms and then just bend and extend your knees, and that's it. Just bending and extending your knees. We're going to go for another 6 and lock the knees. 5. So I do want full range of motion, especially on the lock, because I want you to really squeeze into the thigh. 3, 2, squeeze into the thigh. 1 more time. And if you have healthy knees, you're going to bring your left leg to center just a little bit and lift the right. Now, if you have knee issues, you might just want to keep both feet on the floor. We're going to bend the left leg and extend. Bend and extend, making sure that you always return to the plank, to a full plank, not keeping your butt up. 2 more. Keep your butt down on the forward. 1 more. And let's switch. If you're doing this with both feet on the floor, then your legs should already be really on fire, getting really tired. Let's keep going back and forth. We switched legs. We're on our right. 4, push into the floor. 3, 2, lock, lower the booty. 1 more. And we're going to stay in a high plank if possible. If you need to take a break, that's absolutely fine. And we're going to go wide with our hands. So you stay in the plank. I'm going to lower down. We're going to go wide with our hands. And then from here, I'm going to ask you to perform a mini push-up. So Atel, yeah, you can absolutely just go forward and back on your forearms. And that's it. And everyone else, so you're going wide, you're going forward, mini push-up, up and back. Forward, mini, up and back. Let's keep going for 4, mini, 3. Notice how little I'm moving. The key is actually just keeping your butt low in a plank. That's the key. Keeping your abs tight. It's not about how low you go on this exercise. 1 more time. And then from here, I want you to push yourself back into a pyramid and get your heels as close to the floor as possible. Really dig your heels down, relax your head, get into a little bit of a stretch. If you feel like you need to freestyle here and kind of pedal out or move around, that's absolutely fine. Relax your head, relax your neck. Let's bring the left foot slightly forward into the center so that you're getting a deeper stretch. And then the right leg is going to go way up. Let's open up the pelvis and let's drop the heel back, making sure there's like an imaginary weight on your knee so it's really pulling you back. And then on the next exhale, you're going to bring that same foot between your hands and you're going to bring your hands to heart center, even though I just want to say you can also hold on to something if you need to. Okay, so you can forget about heart center, just hold on to something if you need to. So heart center if possible, and then elongate your head forward, pull your tailbone back, and then shift and hold. Let's hold it right here. Maybe you can lift your left foot off the floor, maybe not. Maybe you're holding on with your left hand, maybe not. And we're just holding and elongating as much as possible. Now, I want you to try, and don't fall like me. I want you to try and lift your left leg up without touching it to the floor. And then inhale forward. and then exhale back up. So what we are doing basically is lunges on a single leg. Inhale and exhale. Of course, if you need to keep tapping the left foot to the floor or hold on the whole time with your left hand, that's perfect, that's fine. 4, 3, woo! I'm a little wobbly on my right leg today. 2, I'm super wobbly on my right leg today. And we have one more. I hope you're not falling around like me. And then from here, we're going to go all the way down, nice and slow, placing our hands on the floor, bending the right leg. So continuously bend the right leg, pulling your tailbone back, pulling your left heel back, and then exhale, extend your right leg, and bend. Exhale, extend, and bend. You shouldn't be dropping your head too much. I'm trying to really keep neutral neck, neutral spine. Keep it going for 3, 2. Last one. We're going to shift that left leg onto the floor, and we're going to bring both feet together, placing the left forearm down, holding a side plank. And of course, you can hold the side plank on a bent left leg. Holding it right here. If possible, you're going to lift your right leg, but really get it up if you are doing it. And then to make matters harder, which is going to seem counterintuitive, you're going to bring your right hand down and push up into the right hand and hold it for 10. Breathing through. 3, 2, gently rotate into the plank, high plank, and then push back into the pyramid. Pushing back into the pyramid, and again, you can freestyle here, pressing your heels in towards the floor. Just move around in any way that feels most correct for your body. Then the right foot comes slightly centered, left leg way up. And then we're just going to tilt and put that imaginary weight on your left knee. Bend the left leg. Let that weight pull your knee back. On the next exhale, bring that foot between your hands. You can always do that one move either in stages, right? You can just kind of hop your leg forward or just try to crunch your leg forward. So hands at heart center. We'll see if I'm less wobbly on this leg. Hands at heart center, or your right hand is holding on to something. And then we shift, lifting the right leg, which you don't have to do. You can tap on the floor the whole time. On the next exhale, straightening your left leg and coming up to standing, trying not to touch your right foot to the floor. Inhale, down. Exhale, up. Finding your center, trying to activate your abdominals right through the pelvic floor. 5, trying to go as low as you can, extending your leg back. You should be feeling your left glutes. If you're really pulling back, you should be feeling your left glutes here. 3, 2, last time, and we're going to hold it, bringing your hands on towards the floor. Bend the left leg, and then extend it. Really extend that bottom leg. Inhale, bend it. Exhale, extend. I don't want you bending it to the point where you're losing control with the knee and you're letting it fall forward. You should be super activated with your left heel in towards the floor, super in control. Elongating your back. There's nothing here that should be amiss. Everything's working here. So back long, fingers gentle on the floor. Last time. And then from here, we're going to place the foot down. We're going to place our both feet on the floor, back in a plank, and the right forearm goes onto the floor, and we hold a side plank. I want to see you guys. I'm gonna flip over on your right. You can bend your bottom leg, you can bend your right leg, and if possible, you really kick that left leg way up, and maybe you can bring your hand down, which again, I'm reminding you, counterintuitively, this is actually a little bit harder, in my opinion, because it's like you're pushing up in towards the hand. Let's keep it going. 10. Push that forearm in towards the floor. And then we gently release and we flip onto our back. So this is really what we're doing today. We're going from abs to balance, back to abs, several times through, different exercises. And if you need a sip of water like I do, now is a good time. And please lie down on the floor. I think I need to do that. There we go. Okay, so we're going to go into some anchoring core work. Now, if doing sit-ups is a little bit challenging for you, you might not want to do a tabletop sit-up. You might want to maybe put your feet on a chair, and that way you'll be kind of like a step closer to it. Or just do your regular sit-ups with your feet on the floor and just up and down or hands forward. That's fine. If you can, I'm going to ask you to bring your legs to tabletop. I have a lot of trouble with control when I do this with my hands back, so I'm going to have my hands kind of in this neutral position forward. And then I want to meet my chest to the thighs with as little movement in the legs as possible. So it's as though the legs are kind of casted, they're in a cast, and I'm bringing my upper body to my legs with as little movement with the legs as possible. So because we're not using momentum, there might be a little bit of movement. That's okay. I want you to really do it as little as possible though. So let's keep going. We're gonna go up, whoop. You do have to give me a little credit. I worked really hard the last 2 days, so you're seeing my soreness. So the key, constantly repeat it, repeat it, repeat it. As little movement as possible with the legs, keeping them as high up as you can as you meet your chest to your knees. 2 more times. Last time, and then we're going to just stay in the tabletop. Let's try to bring our hands at the base of the skull as we go down and keep your legs at the tabletop. So from here, elbows are open, and sometimes this is the tabletop I see. So let's try to bring the knees right above the hip joint and the feet right aligned with the knees. So you're really in 90 degrees. We inhale here, and then on the next exhale, lift the shoulder blades up, press your low back to the floor, and you're just gonna rotate your upper body with 0 movement from the middle of your back down. So now we're continuing with the anchoring of the low body. No movement in the low body. Just your chest is moving side to side, lifting those shoulder blades up for 10, 9. Notice that I'm really lifting through the center. Otherwise, I'm not getting the work in. Okay, so really be clear on that. 4, 3, 2, 1. Gently come to center and release. Hands down, feet down, and then from here, we're going to slowly go into a bridge, making sure that we're squeezing the booty, the knees are parallel to each other, the toes are looking forward. I say squeezing the booty because, excuse me, it is not this. This is not squeezing your booty, this is squeezing your back. So I want squeezing the booty, squeezing the abs, and then from here, we're going to bring the left foot slightly to center to anchor, and then the right leg goes up. If this is too much for you, please place your right leg on the other leg, or you might even want to go to a further modification and just lift the right heel. That's fine. So we're here for a moment, just working on the stability. So I'm not asking for any movement. I'm asking for you to continuously avoid dropping. Continuously get into the neutral position by digging your left heel in towards the floor and squeezing the left booty. So if possible, let's keep everything as it is, except we're going to slightly open up the right leg to the right and then close. So if you're doing this in a modification like this, you keep going. You guys keep doing this. I'm just going to explain the modification. If you're doing this in the modification, you can even keep your hands on your hip joints and just move the knee through. Same thing with having just your right toes on the floor. So we're all going to keep going for another 4, doing everything you need to do to stay stable, which means that you're digging the left heel into the floor and working your abs. You don't have to go very low with your leg. That's not what it's about. And then we hold steady. We're going to pulse the booty up for 8, 7. Dig the left heel into the floor. Your butt should be on fire right now, the left booty. Keep going for another 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it here. Please try to stay with me for a moment. So if you're doing any of the modifications, you stay steady. And if you're with me, you're going to slowly flex low. Try to stay steady with the pelvis. And then gently bring your right foot down, center, left leg gently goes up. So just hold it here. I'm reminding you that the only thing we're doing in the very beginning is the stability of the pelvis. So digging your right heel into the floor, squeezing the right booty, and that's it. And remember, you can just put your left toes on the floor if you want. You can put your leg on top of the other, making sure you are not dipping. And from here, with a strong flexed foot, we inhale to the side, exhale, return to center. Inhale to the side, exhale, return. Let's keep it going, making sure that you really are squeezing that right booty, digging the heel in towards the floor, working your obliques to stabilize. Your abs should be on. Turn those abs on. 1 more, and then hold it right here, digging that right heel into the floor, and let's pulse it up for 8, 7, 6, dig, 4, 3, 2, final 1, hold it right here, bringing your foot down, so if you're modifying, you just stay steady. So bringing the left foot down close to the floor if possible, only if possible, and then bend it and release all the way down. And we are going to return onto all 4s. Okay, good. So we are on all 4s. And once again, we're going to do those hovering knees. However, some of you are going to want to put your knees down or just stay in the hovering knees without doing the push-ups, and that's fine. Okay, so let me repeat that. You can put your knees down at any point, or you can perform the exercise just statically like this, and that's it. You don't have to actually do the movement. Which means that if you're on your forearms, you can just hold, okay? And that's absolutely fine. So we're on all 4s, flexing your feet, tighten up your abs, and then lift your knees up, if possible. And you can just hold here. I'm saying that again. You can go into your forearms, you can just hold. If possible, with your hovering knees, you're going to inhale forward and dip low with elbows close to your body. And then you're going to exhale, return to that on all 4s hovering knees, the quadruped hovering position. Inhale forward, elbows tight, and then return. Again, inhale forward, elbows tight, without letting your back drop, no matter what. Okay, because that is the most important thing here. Let's keep going. And then we're going to go for one more. And then from here, we're going to return to the pyramid position and pedal out your legs, or just maybe move around a little bit side to side, or maybe in a little bit of circles. And then again, left foot is going to come to center. Right leg is going to go up. This time, you might just feel a little bit more flexibility in the stretch. So I want you to actually acknowledge it and really get deep into the stretch. And then on the next exhale, you're going to bring your right foot between your hands. You're going to get that left leg further back, really hop it back, and get into a nice hip flexor stretch. So you're just dropping. Just let yourself drop nice and gentle. If you need further stretch, then you can actually just squeeze the left butt, and that should do the trick. And then from here, we're going to exhale and bring both feet together. Squeeze your legs together and lift your heels. And then from here, we're going to sit down on our heels, making sure our legs are really squeezing together. This might not be appropriate for your knees, okay? In which case, you're going to actually just put your heels down and you're just going to squat like so. And that's perfect. But if you can, you're going to be here. Knees together, feet together. Tighten up your abs. We are no longer going to reach this position of sitting on our heels. We're going to lift up a bit. And this is going to be home base. So from here, let's go all the way up. And then return to that home base without actually sitting on your heels. All the way up. And then all the way down. All the way up, squeeze the knees together. Ooh, my balance is off today, guys. Up and down. Trying to keep your heels constantly up and off the floor. Every time you go up, maybe you can dig deeper into your calf muscle. 4, 3, 2, 1, and now I ask that we return to the home base without sitting on the heel and just hold it. Holding it, squeezing together. So that home base should fire up your thighs. If that's not happening, then you might be here, and that's a resting position, so I don't want that. I want us here, that hovering. Let's go for another 4, 3, heels up, 2, and dive down, bringing your hands to the floor. Walking your feet back, you're in a plank. If you can, we're going to go into a deep tricep push-up, coming forward, down. You do not have to do that. And then right foot forward just a little bit, left leg up so you can stretch out the right leg. And again, just like before, if you're feeling this extra flexibility at this point of the session, then I want you to take that time and open up the muscles. On the next exhale, drive that foot between the hands, the left foot, and then bring the right even further back. So you're getting into a nice full stretch. And if you want to go deeper into the hip flexor opener, then you squeeze the right butt. On the next exhale, we're going to squeeze the legs together, making sure that there's connection between the big toes and the knees, lifting the heels, and once again, sitting on your heels. If the previous exercise was easy for you, and you can take your balance up a notch, then I'm going to ask that you do the prisoner position with your hands at the base of the skull, trying again to keep the knees together. So let's leave this resting position and return to the hover. Okay, so we're in that sweet spot of work. Exhale up, don't straighten your knees all the way this time, and then down. Even if you're not doing the prisoner position, it doesn't matter. I just don't want you straightening your knees this time. Exhale up, Inhale down. Lifting the pelvic floor and tightening up all of the abs, all of the fibers in the abs. Keep going for another 10. That means also the lower part of the abdominals. Around your ankle should be working hard. Keep going. 2. Last 1. And let's try to stay in that hovering position. Heels off the floor, belly tight. 3, 2, 1. Straighten. Hands to the floor. Walk back. Try to stay in the plank for your tricep push-up or go onto your knees. Come forward, elbows in, up, and rest. Resting with your knees maybe at the width of the mat. Maybe you would want to bring your hands forward. On Friday, I was in the studio and I had to stop the session several times to talk about the tricep push-ups. So, especially because most of your cameras aren't on, I feel like I might just want to chat with you for a second. The tricep push-ups can't be performed with relaxed abs, right? You can't do it like that. Now, in yoga, you've got the chaturanga. And, you know, I'm not a yogi. I love yoga, but I'm not a teacher. So you have to separate, okay? We're doing strength class here, and I know that a lot of people in the game are doing lots of yoga moves. We're not doing that. We're doing, what I need is this, right? And then, boom. You just shoot yourself up with a straight back. And if it means that for the next 3 months, you know, however long, you do it on your knees perfectly, yes, exactly. You do it on your knees perfectly, that's great, okay? Because without form, you don't have it. Without form, you will not get stronger, and you might hurt yourself. So, okay, so let's get that right. Let me just make sure. Oh wow, time flies when I'm having fun. I don't know about you, but I'm having fun. So we're gonna go onto our back. Now I'm even more careful with the whole timing thing, so nobody kicks me out of my class. So once again, just like I explained to you, we're returning to the ab work, and then we work ourselves up. And this is going to be the last cycle, and there's going to be a little bit more focus on the standing moves. On our back, we are completing what we did earlier, which was we were anchoring our booty down, and we were lifting and moving our upper body, okay? And we were doing it in a tabletop. Now we're going to be moving our legs, and we're going to be anchoring our spine and up. So let's straighten our elbows completely and bring the arms beneath your butt. Open up your chest. And then from here, press your back into the floor and glue your legs together, lifting your heels up. So I need you to really do that imprint, the movement of slightly bringing the tailbone up and pressing your back down. And then from here, we exhale, lift, inhale, lower. Now, this might be easy for a lot of you. So I want you to take this moment and really make sure that you're activating your abs so much so that when you touch down, there's no feeling there's no feeling that you're arching your back. And then you've got it right, and you can keep going. So you can continue like this, or you can graduate and keep going to pointed feet, and then we go down and up. Pressing your back in towards the floor the whole time. So the idea here, and if you've got this idea down pat, then you've got the exercise down, is that you're creating an anchor with your belly, pressing your back in towards the floor as the heaviest part of your body, the legs together, are kind of pulling down, but you're anchoring. That's the exercise. And then we're going to do one more time like this, And then we flex and keep going. Flex and keep going, squeezing the legs together. And we're flexing also down and also up. If you start feeling your back, you just right away shift to this more modified version. And of course, you can always stop for a moment and go to that segmental rotation that we did earlier and, take a break. So from here, let's pause for a moment. And now let's flex lower and then point lift. Flex lower and point lift. Let's do that one more time. And then maybe you're going to want to add in by lifting your butt off the hands and bringing your hands to the base of your skull and lifting up. Staying steady with your upper body, we flex lower and we point lift. Flex and point. We're going to go for two more. We're going to go for one more. And then we gently release. Next up, we're going to, bye. Have a good day.
You too.
So next up, we're going into steady bicycles with the legs. So the hands at the base of the skull, lift the shoulder blades up, and then we're here. One leg straight, one leg bent, and we're not going to move the rest of the body at all, except for the legs. We push forward, and I want you to imagine a box full of weights that you're pushing away from you with those pointed toes. The higher you go with your shoulder blades, the harder your abs will work. Same thing with the lower you go with the legs, and the straighter the legs are, the harder you will work. Let's keep going for another 4, 3, 2, 1. Gently release, and let's all head into the segmental rotation, letting your knees drop to one side and then the other. Next up, we hop onto all fours. You can do this on your forearms the whole time if you want to. In general, we're also going to meet you on the forearms at one point, so that's fine. And we're here. Okay, so we'll end up on the forearms. You can stay on your forearms the whole time. We're gonna, on all fours for a moment, pulling the shoulders back, digging the hands into the floor, getting ready for the perfect plank, and let's hop into it with super tight abs, super neutral spine. So you can be on your forearms. And then from here, we're gonna go into a side plank, and we're going to hold this for a moment. We're going to hold it for a moment, and you can stay holding it. You can also bend the bottom leg. But maybe you can lift the top leg, and maybe you can just start moving the top arm down and up for 4. Trying to keep the pelvis as parallel to the wall in front of you as possible. Last one. My balance is off today, I told you guys. And then bring both hands down for the plank. We're going to go into a steady core plank, bringing the left leg slightly to center. Inhale your right leg up, and then exhale, bring your right knee as close to your right elbow as possible, and just hold, trying not to touch your foot to the floor. Holding it. Making sure that your head is aligned with your neck. Push out of your shoulder blades. You should be holding steady, focusing in on your breath. And then nice and gentle, bring that foot back. Go into a side plank. And then we're going to hold it for a moment. And only maybe we're going to lift the leg. Maybe we're going to move the hand as well. So we lower the left hand and we lift. Lower and lift. 2, 1. And then we slowly come back to the plank. Right leg center a little bit. Left leg up. And trying to get it as close to the left elbow as possible without touching your foot to the floor. Get those shoulders back. And then gently bring the leg back. If you need to put your knees down, that's fine. I'm going to avoid that so I can stay in the plank. And I'm going to head onto my forearms. Heading onto the forearms. Squeeze the butt, making sure that the navel is towards the rib cage is towards the navel. And then from here we go into a side plank again, closing the left elbow, and then our left forearm, right hand goes up. Try to lift that right leg, and then try to bring it forward and keep the leg forward. Coming out of the shoulder, you can absolutely do this with a bottom leg bent. Okay, that's absolutely fine. You can always modify in that way. Let's hold for 3, 2, 1, and gently return to a low plank. When I say low, I just mean that you're on your forearms. Press into the floor. Come out of the shoulders. And then we slowly shift over to the other side. And maybe we're going to want to lift the leg only, or maybe we lift and kick forward and hold with a strong flex. And then let's slowly bring the leg back, return to the plank, close your hands together, elbows out, right? So we're here, okay, on our forearms, and we're going to walk into a pyramid. Okay, we're in a pyramid. Inhale, come on forward, bringing your chest above your hands, maybe even touch your hands, and then up and back. This is just like we said before with the tricep push-ups. Please don't drop your back, and then up and back. 4, exhale, up and back. 3, up and back. 2, up and back. 1 more. And then from here, we gently release. So you should be like me, kind of standing on your knees or sitting on your knees. Let's see how I'm doing. Okay. This is the exercise. Let me just show you. So if you need padding for your knees, also now's a good time to figure that one out. If you want some cushion for your knees. So this is going to be the exercise. Just take a peek before you do anything. Right foot is going to go down, and then we're going to go up. Then we drop the left knee, and we return the right leg. Then it's forward, up, down, and down. This might not be good for you, okay? Especially if your knees are bugging you, then what you're going to do instead is actually, you're going to just squat, lift. Same leg over and over. Okay, that's the modification. Otherwise, stand on your knees, booty tight, abs are tight, right foot forward, and then up, down, down. Again, right leg, up, up, down. So not only is your leg working, we're continuing with the right leg, but also your obliques, your abs should be working here. We're not straightening the knee all the way, we're focusing in, like really zooming with your eyes on one spot. We have 4 more. 4, 3, 2, last time. And we switch with no break. Left foot. And return. Left, without straightening all the way, keeping your abs tight. Four, 3, focus in. Last time. And then from here, stand on your knees. You might need to pad up your knees, okay? Especially if you were doing the modification. And you have two versions here. Version one is, I don't know if you heard the crack, but I always crack on that point. So either sitting and standing, very light, okay? That's fine. Or leaning back and up, which can be too much for your knee. Oh, thank you. Okay, so leaning back and up. Leaning back and up. Remember, you can do this in step, okay? Please don't get into a point where your knees are in pain, of course. We're going to go for another 4, 3, 2, neutral spine, 1 more, and then release right here, sitting down and getting one leg way back, getting that knee back, pulling it to a hovering position, and then squeezing your booty. So whenever I see people do this, it's the stretch, the focus isn't on the stretch, the focus is on balance. So please lean onto your hand and pull back. And then slowly shift onto the other side. If anybody is interested in the challenge that I'm starting on Friday, it's a little bit more intense, then please message me on Instagram. Guys, I would love for you to join the challenge. Let's continue into the stretch. We're going to flex strongly, knees are straight, and get that chest up. Inhale, reach your hands up, and then exhale, try to grab onto your toes. It really does not matter to me if you can or not. What I care about is your tailbone going up and back and my chest coming forward, okay? So it doesn't matter where I'm holding on, what I'm reaching. And then from here, let's bring our feet together with the knees apart. And then let's lift our chest, let our knees kind of be as heavy as possible. And then maybe come forward a little bit with the chest, pulling your elbows back. And then let's slowly go onto our back with our hands at the base of the skull so that we're opening our chest. So really, really open up your chest here. And then drop your head towards the right hand, and then focus on opening your left elbow further. And then let's do the same with the knees. We're going to drop them to the right, and we're going to really focus on opening up that left part of the chest. And then let's switch. So the head is going to go to the left, legs to the left, and then in the meantime, I'm pressing that right elbow down. And then we gently release. And then from here, you can just kind of relax, let yourself drop into your most comfortable position. Taking a few deep breaths here after all that work. We've really been taking breaks, so way to go. Remember, I'm trusting you. I'm assuming that if your camera is off, you're still doing everything with me as I am instructing. Let yourself fall into the floor so that every exhalation can really let you release. To emphasize the release, you might want to inhale with a little bit of tension and then exhale to drop deeper into that totally relaxed state. Returning to the body scan and seeing how you feel now as opposed to the beginning of the session. Trying to relax the facial muscles all the way down to the toes. Maybe there are some spots that you feel are tense because of the workout. That happens, and try to just release into it. course, you can stay on the floor and continue into your meditation or just hang out for a second. And I'm going to flip onto my side and I'm going to sit nice and tall, and I'm going to end with a nice deep breath. Inhale, open up the chest, really open up the chest. And then exhale to release. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Well done. Well done. Good job. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.